In this video, I'm going to show you how to use long context Gemini models with AI Studio and Gemini API. Let's start by heading to AI Studio website. The examples that I'm going to show you is based on a video. So let's first head to YouTube, and there's this video about Project Astra. It's quite a long one, about 48 minutes. So let's grab a link to this video. And now I'm heading back to AI Studio. As you can see, this video takes more than 800,000 tokens. Now I'm going to ask a question. What phone is Hannah Fry using for the demo? Give me the timestamp when the phone shows up. And while the model is executing this request, I'm going to show you around AI Studio. So on the right hand side, there's this model selector. For every model, we show the model card, which has some useful information like input and output token prices. There are also rate limits and knowledge cutoff, and some recommended use cases. The model that I'm demonstrating here is Gemini 2.5 Pro Preview model. Then there's a token counter. For this particular model, the maximum token limit is 1 million. Soon it's going to be 2 million. And we're using more than 800,000 tokens out of this context window. Then there's a temperature slider, which you can use to change the sampling temperature. And there are a few tools. So one interesting tool is code execution. If the model generated the code, after enabling this option, the model would also be able to execute this code in the sandbox. And then the result is inserted into model's context. Another interesting tool is grounding with Google search. Based on your prompt, there will be a Google search request, and the results from this request are going to be inserted into the model's context. By using this option, you enable the model to rely on up-to-date web knowledge. And then there are a few advanced settings. For example, you can add a stop sequence. After generating this, the model will stop. And there is also output length that you can change. Currently, it is set to about 65,000 tokens. So the model that I'm demonstrating here is a thinking first model. So that means it will use thinking by default. And the model replied, so the phone is Google Pixel 7. And the moment when the phone is transferred from Greg to Hannah is 3 minutes 2 seconds. So now let's head to the video. And we're going to 3 minutes 2 seconds. And that's exactly when Greg passes the phone to Hannah. And it's also a Pixel 7 phone. So the model's answer was correct. So this was a demonstration of long video understanding with AI Studio. And now we're going to demonstrate how to use Gemini API. So the first step is to get the API key here. There's a very simple demonstration that we can use with the command line. what I'm going to do is I'm going to head to Google Colab and create a new notebook there. And then I'm going to use the bash mode for executing this command. So the last thing we need to do is to get the actual API key, and for that we're going to click create API key here. And then we copy it over. So what this command does, it executes a simple TOEIC request, explain how AI works. And the model that we are using is Gemini 2.0 Flash model, which is much cheaper than Pro models. So the model replied, all right, let's break down how AI works, etc. So this was the simplest demonstration of Gemini API. If we want a more complicated example, we can head back to the real interaction that we just had. Then on the right, there is this get code button. If we click this button, we can open the interaction in the Colab. What happened here is that basically we reproduce the whole interaction here, and we can continue generating from that point. To actually send the request, again, you would have to substitute this placeholder for the real Gemini API key. I'm not going to execute this command here because it's going to take time, but you get the general idea. So that was a video covering how to use long context Gemini models with AI Studio and Gemini API. Thank you for your attention.